Alright, so this is a follow-up to the first video, which was creating the drawing for block letter C. This one will be create the drawing for goal block D. The part we already created in a previous video, so now this is going to be putting the part onto the actual drawing. This will be what you'll submit for grades. Okay, so if you look into your week 11 folder, 11.2 through 11.6, you'll notice the first 4 parts in there are the actual parts that we created. The next 4 that you'll see in there are the actual drawings we had to create. We are going to work on gold block D drawing. So it's going to look like this. Okay, so what we're going to be able to do is take this simple block that we created, and now we're going to put it a front, a top, and a right side view onto the correct border, and then we'll get everything set up so you can print and turn this in. Now to do this, I got to get into my Solidworks. Done this before. We're going to do a file new. Now what I said in the previous video is we're no longer starting from the novice area. Okay, we're done with being novices. We are now working from the advanced tab. In the last couple of weeks, I've been floating around the classroom, making sure that all of you have the same setup. So all of you should have the SolidWorks Templates tab showing in your advanced view mode. Okay. The first 2 in here are your part drawings. You're going to start seeing that more and more as I do subsequent videos on creating parts. We will always start from either inches or metric. The remaining pieces in this folder are the actual drawings that we are putting together. Now, the one I want you to look for is one called GHSA, inch fraction. It should be the second one in the second row. If you left click on it, you'll notice a piece of paper shows in the preview with nothing on it. It's a blank piece of paper. All I want you to do is say OK. It'll take a moment for SolidWorks to load, and here it is. Here's the blank paper. Now right now SolidWorks is waiting for us to put something on it. So if you look to your left, it says select a part or an assembly to which you can create your views from. Sometimes you'll see in the open documents, if you've already done the part, it'll be showing here. All you have to do is double click. In my case, I have nothing open. So I have to go to the word browse. It will take me into my H drive, or I may have to find my H drive and locate my TechEd1 folder. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to find block D right here, gold block D, and left click on it and then hit open. Now by doing that, I still have to take in here and adjust some of the properties. So this is my property manager over here for setting up my drawing. All of our drawings that we're going to be creating here are going to be set up the same way. We're going to start in here with our view, and we're going to start by clicking the middle box indicating we want to start from the front view. I would like you to make sure that preview is checked on, and then slide your bar down until you see display style. Now when we do our drawings here, I want the display style to be with hidden lines visible. So I can see cuts, I can see holes, I can know what's going on with the part. So I'm going to left click and turn that on, and then the last thing is going to be adjusting the scale. Now to know the scale, I have to go back into the drawing and look at the scale sitting right here. According to our answer key, the drawing is at 1:1. So if I go back to SolidWorks here, I'm going to change the scale from 1 to 2. I'm going to change it 1:1. However, I can't click on this right now because it's grayed out. To activate it, I'm going to go use custom scale, drop the arrow down, slide the slider up to the top, and pick 1:1. Now, if you pull out towards your screen, now you'll see the preview of a large block at 1:1 scale. Taking your cursor towards the lower left corner here, somewhere in this area, it's going to be a little bit different for each of us. I'm going to left click. I'm going to pull straight up, and you'll notice now SolidWorks automatically creates a top view. As soon as I get towards the top of the paper, left click. Pull out towards your right of the front view. Get a little distance there and left click. And then last but not least, pull uphill at a diagonal to the right and left click again. Now to turn my tool off, I'm going to hit escape. Now I'm going to make a quick adjustment. I'm going to grab this box and left click and hold and slide a little bit to my left just to get a little more space between views. This view here is independent. I can move it anywhere I want to move it. Now if you notice, in our drawing, that scale is not 1:1. It's actually 1:2. So we can customize each of our views by simply clicking on it. So I'm going to click on this view, and coming over here to the left and adjusting the properties. The first thing I want to do is I want to add some color. So I'm going to pick this blue box right here to add some color to this figure. And then I'm going to go down where it says scale. Right now it shows 1 to 1, but I'm going to go to use custom scale. Drop the arrowhead down and pick 1 to 2. I'll hit my green check mark, and then I'm just going to simply adjust this so it's kind of in the middle. Now at this point, we're ready to start adding dimensions. Okay, so if we look at our drawing here, the dimensions are these numbers. That's the Smart Dimension tool. Now I'm going to pull this over to my other screen so I can see it. And I'm going to turn on my Smart Dimension tool. Now we've been using this quite a bit because we've been doing it in our sketching mode when we have been designing these parts. So you should be comfortable with this. I'm going to start on this top view by clicking on this center line here and moving to my right and left clicking again. I'm going to click on this line right here, pull to my right, left click a second time. Now to flip the arrowheads inside, I'm going to hit the little dots. Okay, at the arrowhead, there's a little dot right there. If you left click on it, it will flip the arrowhead over. With my tool still active, I'm going to hit this very top line, left click, bottom line and left click, and pull out and left click again. I'm going to click this line right here, slide down and left click again. Same thing, I'm going to hit the little dot on the back of the arrowhead with a left click to flip the arrowheads inside. I'm going to click on this line here and this line over here and pull, oh, nope, escape, or delete. Left line and then this right line here and pull this down, 2.5. Then I'm going to hit this bottom line here, left click and pull down, left click again. Hit my F key to center up. I'm going to go down here and blow up on this one here. I'm only going to add a line right here of 1.25. I hit escape to turn my tool off. And now all I need to do is add in a note or title underneath this figure. Okay. To do that, I'm going to use my note tool. Drop the text box below, somewhere anywhere below this, left click. And then again, my fonts are going to be standardized across the board here. It's going to always be Arial. Font size is going to be 12, bold, underline, and centered. Caps lock on. Lock D, enter. Bold and underline off. Scale 1 equals 2, enter. Material is pine. Okay, click outside anywhere and hit escape. Okay, now, if you want to adjust, you can move this around a little bit by left-clicking and dragging it. Looks good. I can adjust the entire thing together by left-clicking and dragging. All right, now at this point, we're almost done. The only thing left to do here is adjust my title block. Now again, as I said in the last one, do not turn this in where it says your name. If I don't know who this is, I can't give a score to it. I'm just going to throw it in the trash. So we need to change the information in the title block. That is pretty straightforward. All we have to do is double click on each item and make sure our caps lock is on. So I'm going to start with the title. So where's the Solidworks drawing? I'm going to double click. And in there, I'm going to type in block D drawing. Click outside. Okay, now I'm going to take this and left click and drag a little bit more to my left or down below. GHS student. Double click. My preference is your first initial and your last name. If you want to type your whole name, you can. Just make sure it's in all capital letters. Click outside of it. I will left click and drag a little bit closer to drawn by. Today's date, 11/03/20. Okay. Scale is 1 to 1. Period is 3A. So all those are good to go. So I hit my F key, and at this point, my drawing is ready to save and print. So the first thing I'm going to do is do a save as. Yes, update the views before saving. And I'm just like the one before, I'm going to call this block D drawing. Hit save. Now again, you have a couple options here. You can either submit this if you're at home through Schoology. You could do an upload to your H drive. You could also attach this to an email and send it to me so I can grade it. Or if we're in class, it's all you have to do is open up the drawing that you created from your H drive and then hit print. Hit OK, and now your paper is printing, and that's what you're going to turn in for a grade. Okay, so that is drawing number 2. That's block D. This is 2 of 4 videos. Again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Otherwise, good luck.